horrible tragedy in history, and I don't know, I'm just very at peace with it, than knowing that I died on the Titanic.
Have you ever pondered the mysteries of past lives? Our story unfolds around a young boy with vivid memories of the Titanic, a ship that met its tragic fate long before he was born.
100 years after the sinking of the Titanic in the Atlantic, its stories are resurfacing thousands of miles away.
This tale isn't just a journey through time, it's an exploration of memory, history, and the unexplained. How can a modern child recall the details of a bygone era with such clarity? Let's dive into this enigma and unravel the threads of a past life intertwined with the Titanic. Mysterious Memories, a modern tale of the Titanic. In the quiet suburbs of a modern city lives a boy unlike any other. His name is not widely known, nor his face commonly recognized, yet his story has captured the attention of many. This young boy with bright eyes and an imaginative mind claims to remember a past life aboard the RMS Titanic, the iconic ship that tragically sank in 1912. What makes his story compelling isn't just the claim itself, but the detailed memories he shares, ones that align astonishingly well with historical records. His journey into the past began with nightmares.
When Jamie was around 4 or 5 years old, he started having night terrors.
Night after night, he would wake up in a cold sweat, narrating tales of water flooding into a big ship, people screaming for help, and a chill that clung to his bones. Initially brushed off as a child's vivid imagination, it wasn't until he started recounting specifics. Names of passengers, descriptions of the ship's interiors, and even lesser-known facts about the Titanic's journey that his parents began to wonder. Could their son truly be recalling a past life? These memories weren't just random or generic, they were detailed and specific.
Were there. But again, his sister still was not like 100% on board with the reincarnation theory.
He talked of conversations between passengers, the layout of the ship's grand staircase, and the cold, starry night when disaster struck. He even mentioned friendships with passengers whose names, upon research, turned out to be real people aboard the Titanic. His descriptions of the events leading up to the sinking were not just accurate, but told with the emotion of someone who had experienced them firsthand. Skeptics and believers alike find themselves at a crossroads with such stories. While some argue that the boy could have absorbed this information through books, documentaries, or conversations, others point out the implausibility of a child his age having such extensive, detailed knowledge. His parents affirm that the Titanic was never a topic of discussion at home, nor had he been exposed to media about it. This leaves an intriguing question hanging in the air. How does he know? As word of his story spread, it attracted the attention of researchers and historians. They scrutinized his claims, comparing them against historical data. Astonishingly, many of his descriptions of life aboard the Titanic, from the lavish meals served in the first-class dining room to the layout of the cabins, were accurate. He even described personal items belonging to passengers, later confirmed through historical records. However, not everything he said could be verified. Some names and stories had no historical backing, leading to debates about the authenticity of his memories. Could these discrepancies be chalked up to the blending of imagination and fact, a common occurrence in young minds, or were they evidence of something more profound? The boy's story goes beyond the mere recollection of the Titanic's tragedy. It paints a picture of life in the early 20th century, capturing the essence of a bygone era through the eyes of someone who, by all logical means, shouldn't remember it. His memories offer a window into the lives of those who traveled on the Titanic, from the opulent lifestyles of the rich to the hopeful dreams of immigrants in third class. The life aboard the ill-fated ship. The RMS Titanic, often hailed as the unsinkable ship, was a marvel of early 20th century engineering and luxury. To understand the boy's vivid recollections, one must first step into the world of the Titanic, a floating microcosm of the Gilded Age's opulence and social stratification. The Titanic was not just a ship, it was a symbol of human ingenuity and luxury. Its maiden voyage, which commenced on April 10, 1912, from Southampton to New York City, was a much-anticipated event. The ship boasted advanced safety features, lavish accommodations, and was the largest vessel afloat at the time. The boy's memories paint a vivid picture of life on board. He recalls the grandeur of the first-class cabins, adorned with elegant furnishings and fine linens. He describes the opulent grand staircase, which served as a social hub for the elite passengers. His eyes light up when he talks about the elaborate meals served in the dining saloon, with menus featuring delicacies like oysters, filet mignon, and pheasant. Yet the Titanic was a world of contrasts. The boy's accounts also touch upon the third-class accommodations, markedly different from the luxury above. He describes cramped quarters and the simple but hearty meals served to the lower-class passengers, many of whom were immigrants chasing the American dream. Despite these disparities, he recalls a sense of excitement and hope that permeated the ship, as passengers from all walks of life embarked on a journey to a new life. One of the most poignant parts of his narrative involves the ship's crew. He talks of the dedicated stewards, the skilled kitchen staff, and the stoic captain, Edward J. Smith. He shares anecdotes of the musicians, who famously played on as the ship sank, providing a soundtrack of bravery and calm amidst the chaos. The boy's memories also delve into the daily activities aboard the Titanic. He speaks of afternoons spent on the promenade deck, where passengers strolled and socialized, and of evenings in the ship's various lounges and smoking rooms. He remembers the children playing on deck, blissfully unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. But his tale takes a somber turn as he recounts the night of April 14th, when the Titanic struck an iceberg. He describes the initial disbelief among passengers and crew, followed by a growing sense of panic. He remembers the sound of the ship's distress signals and the rush to lower the lifeboats, an effort marred by chaos and confusion. In his narrative, the stark reality of the disaster becomes evident. He talks of families torn apart, of decisions made in moments of desperation, and of the heart-wrenching farewells as lifeboats were lowered into the icy waters. He recalls the eerie calm that fell over the ship as it began to sink, and the haunting sounds of cries for help that echoed across the ocean. The boy's recollections are not just a recounting of events. They are imbued with emotions, fear, sorrow, and disbelief. He speaks of the courage and sacrifice witnessed that night, of strangers helping each other in the face of certain doom, and of the solemn resignation of those left on the ship as it sank. Through his eyes, we see the Titanic not just as a historical event, but as a human tragedy. He brings to life the stories of the 1,500 souls who perished, giving them a voice through his memories. His narrative is a reminder of the fragility of life and the hubris of mankind in the face of nature's might. As he concludes his account of the Titanic's final hours, there is a palpable sense of loss in his words. Yet there is also a sense of awe at the enduring legacy of the ship. The Titanic, in its grandeur and tragedy, has become a symbol of human ambition and its limits, a story that continues to captivate and haunt us more than a century later. Unraveling the past, historical accuracy versus personal recollection. The boy's vivid memories of a past life on the Titanic present a fascinating interplay between historical accuracy and personal recollection. This juxtaposition invites us to explore the complexities of memory, the reliability of personal narratives, and the challenges in corroborating these with historical facts. Memory, especially in the context of past life recollections, is an enigma. The boy's detailed accounts of the Titanic, its passengers, and the fateful night it sank are surprisingly consistent with historical records. He describes the layout of the ship, the grandeur of the first-class accommodations, and the stark contrast to the third-class quarters with uncanny accuracy. His stories about the passengers, their conversations, and the events leading up to the sinking align with known facts. But where does this information come from? Is it possible for a modern child to have such detailed knowledge of a century-old tragedy? Researchers and skeptics have delved into this question, offering various explanations. Some suggest that the boy might have had exposure to the Titanic story through books, movies, or discussions, albeit unknowingly, which were later internalized and expressed as memories. Others propose a more psychological angle, considering these memories as constructions of a young, imaginative mind, possibly influenced by subconscious cues or external stimuli. On the other hand, proponents of past life theories view these memories as evidence of reincarnation. They argue that the level of detail and emotional depth in the boy's recollections surpasses what could be acquired through casual exposure to the Titanic's history. The boy's ability to describe personal belongings of passengers and specific events that were less publicized offers compelling support to this view. However, the line between historical fact and personal memory is not always clear. The boy's narrative, while largely consistent with historical data, contains elements that cannot be verified. He mentions names and incidents that do not correspond with known records of the Titanic. These discrepancies raise questions. Are these memories fabrications, or are they perhaps errors in recalling a genuine past life experience? Or do they represent gaps in our own historical understanding of the Titanic? The challenge lies in the subjective nature of personal memory, which is often influenced by an individual's perception, emotions, and environment. Memory is not a static entity. It is dynamic and malleable. In the case of past life memories, this is further complicated by the absence of a direct method to validate these recollections. Historians and researchers rely on documented evidence which, while extensive for the Titanic, is not exhaustive. There may be untold stories and undocumented passengers, leaving room for narratives that do not align perfectly with recorded history. The boy's story also opens up discussions about the nature of memory in young children. Children's memories are often more fluid and susceptible to influence compared to adults. This raises the question of whether these past life recollections are genuine memories or the result of a child's imagination mingled with fragments of overheard stories or media about the Titanic. In exploring the boy's memories, we also encounter the broader implications of such narratives on our understanding of history and memory. His story encourages a re-examination of how we perceive the past, not just as a collection of documented facts, but as a tapestry woven with personal experiences and narratives. It challenges the boundaries between objective history and subjective memory, suggesting that personal recollections, even those that defy conventional understanding, can offer valuable insights into historical events. Scientific perspectives on past life memories. The concept of past life memories, such as those claimed by the boy with recollections of the Titanic, sits at the intriguing intersection of psychology, neuroscience, and the study of consciousness. From a scientific perspective, these memories present a challenge, as they delve into realms that are not fully understood or easily measurable. The scientific community approaches such phenomena with a blend of skepticism, curiosity, and the desire to understand the workings of the human mind. Firstly, let's consider the psychological perspective. Some psychologists view past life memories as a form of cryptomnesia, where forgotten memories or information resurface and are misinterpreted as original experiences. This phenomenon suggests that the boy's detailed memories could be a mosaic of information absorbed unconsciously through books, movies, or conversations about the Titanic. His brain might have stored these snippets of information, which later surfaced as vivid, personal memories. Another psychological explanation is the role of suggestion, particularly in young children. Children are highly suggestible and can create detailed and convincing memories from stories or ideas presented to them. In this view, the boy's memories might be the result of subtle suggestions from his environment, woven into a narrative that feels real and personal to him. From a neuroscience standpoint, researchers investigate how the brain processes and stores memories. Memories are not exact recordings of events. They are complex constructions influenced by perception, emotion, and context. Neuroscientists study how these memories are encoded and retrieved, and how they can sometimes be distorted or altered. The boy's precise recollections could be an example of his brain's ability to construct detailed narratives from fragments of information, influenced by his emotional connection to the idea of the Titanic. Memory formation and recall in the brain involves several regions, including the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. Studies in neuroscience show that memory is fallible and susceptible to various influences, leading to false memories or confabulation. In the case of past life memories, the brain might be piecing together disparate pieces of information, creating a cohesive narrative that is perceived as a memory of a past life. Further exploring this realm, some scientists and researchers delve into the field of consciousness studies. This branch of science looks at the fundamental nature and experience of consciousness, questioning whether it is solely a product of the brain or if it can exist independently. The boy's recollections challenge the conventional understanding of consciousness and its boundaries, suggesting the possibility of memories being retained from experiences beyond an individual's current lifespan. While this idea aligns more with philosophical and metaphysical theories, it has sparked scientific interest in exploring the nature of consciousness beyond the physical brain. Moreover, the study of past life memories intersects with cultural and historical research. Anthropologists and sociologists examine how cultural beliefs and historical narratives influence individual memories and collective consciousness. In different cultures, beliefs in reincarnation and past lives are prevalent and shape people's understanding of such phenomena. The boy's story in this context could be influenced by cultural narratives surrounding the Titanic and the fascination it holds in popular culture. Despite these scientific explorations, past life memories remain largely a mystery. The lack of empirical methods to validate these memories poses a significant challenge in scientifically studying them. Most research relies on anecdotal accounts and subjective experiences which, while compelling, do not provide conclusive evidence. Cultural and emotional impact of past life claims. The phenomenon of past life claims, as exemplified by the boy who remembers the Titanic, extends beyond mere curiosity and enters the realms of cultural and emotional impact. These claims not only captivate the public's imagination, but also influence cultural narratives, individual beliefs, and emotional responses. At the heart of this impact is the way such stories challenge our understanding of life and existence. The boy's detailed memories of the Titanic, a ship that sank more than a century ago, intrigue and mystify people. They stir a sense of wonder and open up possibilities that transcend conventional beliefs about life, death, and continuity of consciousness. In cultures where reincarnation is a part of spiritual beliefs, such stories reinforce long-held convictions. For others, they ignite curiosity and skepticism, fostering debates that blur the lines between science, spirituality, and the supernatural. Past life claims like the boy's also resonate on an emotional level. His vivid descriptions of the Titanic's last moments and the people involved humanize a historical tragedy. They transform the Titanic from a distant historical event into a relatable, human story. The emotional depth of his memories allows people to connect with the past in a more intimate and empathetic way. It brings to the forefront the personal stories of those who were aboard the Titanic, evoking feelings of empathy, sadness, and a poignant connection to the past. Furthermore, such claims impact how history is perceived and remembered. The boy's recollections contribute to the ongoing fascination with the Titanic, a ship whose story has captivated the world for over a century. They add a personal dimension to the historical narrative, inviting people to explore history not just through facts and figures, but through the lens of personal experiences and stories. This humanizes history, making it more accessible and engaging to a broader audience. The cultural impact is also evident in how these stories are received and propagated in the media and popular culture. Books, documentaries, and articles about past life memories like the boy's garner significant interest, reflecting society's enduring fascination with the mysterious and unexplained. They become a part of the cultural conversation, influencing art, literature, and entertainment. This, Fascination reflects a deeper cultural interest in understanding the mysteries of life and the human experience. On the other hand, the skepticism and debate surrounding past life claims also play a significant cultural role. They stimulate critical thinking and scientific inquiry, prompting discussions about the nature of memory, consciousness, and the afterlife. These debates are important in a cultural context, as they encourage a questioning attitude and the exploration of diverse viewpoints. The emotional impact of these claims is also significant on a personal level, particularly for the individuals who experience them. For the boy recalling the Titanic, the experience can be both wondrous and burdensome. The vividness and emotional intensity of these memories can be overwhelming, especially for a child. There's a sense of carrying a piece of history within oneself, which can be both fascinating and heavy. For his family and those close to him, these claims can evoke a range of emotions, from awe to concern, as they navigate the complexities of understanding and supporting the boy's experiences, exploring the boundaries of time and consciousness. The intriguing case of the boy who remembers a past life on the Titanic pushes us to explore the boundaries of time and consciousness, challenging our perceptions of reality and the limits of human experience. This chapter delves into the philosophical and metaphysical implications of such memories, examining how they question our understanding of time, consciousness, and the continuity of self. The boy's vivid recollections, which seemingly transcend his own lifespan, prompt us to consider the nature of time not as a linear progression, but as a more fluid and complex dimension. Could memories, consciousness, or even the soul transcend the conventional boundaries of time and physical existence? The concept of time in physics, particularly in theories like Einstein's relativity, suggests a universe where past, present, and future coexist. This scientific perspective offers a fascinating backdrop to the idea of past life memories. If time is not strictly linear, could it be possible for memories or consciousness to navigate across different time frames? While this idea ventures into the realm of theoretical physics and metaphysics, it provides an intriguing context for understanding the boy's experiences. We also explore the concept of collective consciousness in this chapter. The notion, proposed in various philosophical and spiritual traditions, suggests a form of universal consciousness that transcends individual minds. Could the boy's memories be an instance of tapping into this collective memory pool, accessing experiences and knowledge from a time beyond his own? This perspective offers a broader view of consciousness that encompasses shared human experiences across time and space. Additionally, this chapter examines the impact of such extraordinary claims on our understanding of the self and identity. The boy's recollections challenge the notion of self as a singular, continuous entity confined to one lifetime. They open up questions about the continuity of the self, the possibility of multiple lives, and the nature of the soul. These concepts, while often associated with spiritual and religious beliefs, are also of interest in the context of understanding human psychology and consciousness. In exploring these themes, we also touch upon the emotional and existential implications for individuals who experience past life memories. The boy's case presents a unique perspective on the human experience, one that encompasses feelings of connection to a distant past, a sense of wonder about the mysteries of existence, and possibly a search for meaning that transcends the conventional human narrative. The chapter further delves into how these ideas are perceived and interpreted in different cultural and historical contexts. In many Eastern philosophies, the concept of reincarnation and past lives is an integral part of the worldview. In contrast, Western thought, heavily influenced by scientific materialism, often views such phenomena with skepticism. This cultural dichotomy offers a rich ground for exploring how different societies understand and integrate the concept of past lives and consciousness beyond the physical realm. The Titanic in collective memory and myth. This chapter delves into the enduring legacy of the Titanic in our collective memory and cultural mythos, exploring how this historic tragedy has transcended its historical context to become a symbol of human aspiration, tragedy, and the eternal struggle against nature's whims. The story of the boy with past life memories on the Titanic offers a unique lens through which to view this phenomenon. We begin by examining how the Titanic has been immortalized in history and popular culture. Since its ill-fated voyage in 1912, the Titanic has captured the public imagination like few other events. It has been the subject of countless books, movies, and artistic works, each adding layers to its legend. The ship's story, with its mix of opulence, technological prowess, and human error leading to disaster, serves as a powerful metaphor for the limits of human ambition and the fragility of life. The chapter then explores how the Titanic has become a part of our collective memory, a shared cultural narrative that transcends generations. Collective memory, a concept in sociology and psychology, refers to the way groups of people remember and commemorate past events. The Titanic's story, passed down through the years, has become a part of the collective consciousness, shaping our understanding of history, tragedy, and heroism. We further analyze how the Titanic's narrative has evolved over time, influenced by cultural, social, and technological changes. Each retelling and representation adds new dimensions to the story, reflecting the values and concerns of the time. For example, early narratives focused on the heroism and stoicism of the passengers and crew, while more recent interpretations highlight issues of class inequality and human error. The boy's past life memories add another layer to this collective narrative. His story intertwines personal experience with historical events, blurring the lines between individual memory and collective history. This intersection raises questions about the nature of memory and history, how individual experiences contribute to and are shaped by collective narratives. Additionally, this chapter discusses the role of myths in shaping our understanding of events like the Titanic. Myths, in a cultural sense, are not just fictitious tales, but are narratives that convey deeper truths and values of a society. The Titanic has become a modern myth, encapsulating themes of hubris, tragedy, and the human spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. The boy's memories, with their vivid details and emotional depth, contribute to this myth-making process, providing a personal connection to a story that has become almost mythical. We also examine the psychological impact of the Titanic's legacy on individuals and society. The fascination with the Titanic and its story reveals underlying human desires to connect with the past, understand our vulnerabilities, and make sense of large-scale tragedies. The boy's experiences, and the public's interest in them, demonstrate how historical events can have a lasting emotional resonance, influencing our perceptions of risk, technology, and progress.